That's my little Margie. I've been both mother and father to her since she was born. She's grown up now, and you think my job's all done, eh? Well, that's what you think. When she was little, I could spank her and make her mind me. I had control over her. I made her eat her spinach, no candy before meals. And when she disobeyed, I took her roller skates away for a week. But what can you do when a girl reaches this age? She's completely out of hand. I've got a problem, believe me. I've got a problem.
That's my father. I've raised him from childhood. That is, my childhood. He's nearly 50 now, and you'd think he'd settle down, wouldn't you? Well, that's what you think. Today, he looks better in shorts on a tennis court than fellas 25. Girls wink at him, and what's worse, he winks back at them. I want a nice, old, comfortable father. I try to look after him, but he just won't settle down. I've got a problem, believe me, I've got a problem.
Dad, you're home.
Yes, dear. Nothing, honey.
Oh, now, don't give me that nothing routine. Come on, what is it?
I hate class reunions. Now, I'll tell you right now, I'll never go to another one as long as I live.
I thought class reunions were supposed to be fun.
Bill Lane, president of Lane Cadium. Arnold Woodruff, president of Woodruff and Waxman. Chase Morgan, president of Morgan Bearings. Don Virgil, president of Virgil Container Corporation. And even Alan Burgess, the #1 jughead of the class, even he's a president of Burgess Electronics.
I still don't get it. What are you burned up about?
Don't you see I'm a failure? Nothing but a vice president.
Dad! Are you serious?
I'm a failure.
Why, Dad, you have a wonderful position. Everybody knows Honeywell and Todd is the biggest investment house in the East. And you're not just a vice president, you're an executive vice president.
When I'm being introduced, what do people say? They say, meet Vern Albright, vice president of Honeywell and Todd. Is my name in there? Do they say Honeywell, Todd, and Albright? No, they say Vern Albright of Honeywell and Todd.
Look, Dad, I'll bet you make a lot more than most of your president friends. Have you thought of that?
Money? Who cares about money? A man wants to make a name for himself. I should have been president of Honeywell and Todd a long time ago, and Honeywell and Todd know it.
Well, I guess I'd feel the same way. I mean, if I met a bunch of girls from school who'd accomplished something that I'd always wanted to accomplish.
I guess I'm acting kind of silly.
No, you're not. You should have been made president a long time ago. Well, look at all the clients who won't even talk a deal with Mr. Todd or Mr. Honeywell unless you handle it personally.
Well, now, honey, take it easy. As you said, I'm probably making a lot more money than most of those other fellows.
I won't take it easy. Why shouldn't you be president?
Oh, Margie, please forget it. I'm sorry I ever mentioned the thing.
Now, don't try and soft-soap me. You have the right to be president.
No, honey, please forget it. I'm happy being vice president. Honest, I am.
Happy being vice president? What's the matter? You in a rut?
Oh, honey, I know how you are when you get burned up about these things. Please, do me a favor. Forget about it, please.
Now, take that English woman, Lady Ashcroft. She'll be here in a couple of days. And who's she going to deal with? You. Y-O-U, Vern Albright. One of the biggest deals Honeywell and Todd have ever had. And she won't let anybody but you handle it.
Oh, please, honey, I'm sorry I ever mentioned it. I don't want to be president. It's too much work. Honest, please forget it.
Okay, I'll forget it. It's forgotten. I'll never say another word about it.
Oh, thanks, dear.
I'm going to bed.
Good night, dear.
Mr. Todd, do you know how valuable my father is to you and Mr. Honeywell?
Pardon?
He pleaded with me till almost 2 this morning not to say any more about it, and I finally promised. But I think it's a girl's duty to break her promise to her father if it's for his own good. Doesn't that make sense, Mr. Todd?
Well, I understand all the words. It's the way you assemble them.
Very simple.
Oh?
My father's been with this company 20 years, right?
Yes, that's right.
20 years of devoted and outstanding service. 20 years of building Honeywell and Todd into the greatest investment house in the East. 20 long, hard years of slaving and striving, working to build Honeywell and Todd. I ask you one question, Mr. Todd. Who is the backbone of this great organization?
Mrs. Todd. She's
I know. But who is the man behind every big deal you make? Vernon Albright.
I'm a very lean man, Margie. Please don't poke me like that. That hurt.
I'm sorry, Mr. Todd, but if you could have seen the look on my father's face when he came home last night. I'm a failure. I'm a failure. That's what my father said, Mr. Todd. Why don't you make him president?
President? At least once a week, we go through this very thing with your father. Margie, we will not make your father president.
Why not? Why won't you?
Because that, my dear, is your father's goal. More than anything, he wants to be president.
You've promised it to him lots of times, but then you never go through with it.
It's like the streetcar. Who chases it after he's caught it? Wanting to be president is what keeps your father stepping.
That's a pretty dirty trick, Mr. Todd.
Well, frankly, Mr. Honeywell and I think it's a very dirty trick. But business is business. When Mr. Honeywell gets back from Boston, I'll tell him about this little discussion.
And then what?
Well, we'll reject the idea, of course, but I will tell him about it.
I still don't see what you're going to do about it. And why did you want me to come over?
You're going to get my father made president of Honeywell and Todd.
I am.
Uh-huh. First, you're going to make a little phone call. You're going to make my father look so good to Mr. Todd that Mr. Todd will give him the one thing he wants most, the presidency.
Oh, Margie, this has all the earmarks of being one of those little things you do for your father that he'd rather have you do anything else than.
Very bad English.
Yeah, and if you want some bad Latin to go with it, Countess Freddy Autus. And here's some bad German. Ich das nicht ein, don't want any part of it.
Freddie Wilson, if you ever want to ask me to marry you again, come back here.
You mean, if I make the call, you'll marry me?
No, but I'll let you ask me.
I won't get mixed up in your father's business again.
Ready?
This is one time you're not going to talk me into it. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. But it'll never make any difference. So what do you want me to say on the phone?
That's my Freddie.
Don't give me that stuff. I'm a toy, and you know it. Now, what do you want me to say?
You're going to pretend to be Frank Staub of Conway and Staub.
Conway and Staub? Honeywell and Todd's big competitors?
Biggest competitors. So big they never even speak, which makes your part more simple.
All right. What do you want me to say? Let's get it over with.
Telephone, Mr. Albright. Mr. Frank Staub calling.
Frank Staub? Frank Staub? What would he want with us?
He just wants Mr. Albright.
Who asked you?
Wait a second. It couldn't possibly have anything to do with that Ashcroft deal, could it?
Lady Ashcroft? You think Conway and Staub are after the deal, too?
Aren't they after every deal we're after? And this one's so big. Or maybe they think they can get a little information from me.
Why, those cutthroats.
You wait until you hear the information they get from Vern Albright. Albright speaking.
Just a moment, Mr. Albright. I have Mr. Albright for you, Mr. Staub.
Hello, Albright. Frank Staub. Though we've never met personally, Albright, I think you know who I am.
Of course, Mr. Staub. What's on your mind? As if we don't know.
I'll be brief about this, Albright. Mr. Conway and I have had our eyes on you for quite some time. You're a good man, Albright.
Thanks for the compliment. What can I do for you?
That's what I like about you, Albright. Right to the point. All right, here it is. We want you, Albright. We're offering you top rung on the hat tree.
Top rung on the hat tree?
Well, what's he talking about?
I don't understand.
Do I have to be basic, Albright? We're offering you the presidency of Conway and Staub.
You're presidenting me with the offering fee?
What's the hesitation, Albright? Have Honeywell and Todd ever offered it to you?
Well, no, I don't,
I wouldn't have to think about it 2 seconds, Albright. Unless Honeywell and Todd are prepared to match our offer. In that case, you'll have to make up your own mind. Bye, Albright.
Oh, Freddie, you were wonderful.
I only hope it works.
Well, how can it miss? Don't But you see, with Lady Ashcroft's deal coming up, they won't dare take a chance on Dad walking out on them.
Yeah. I guess I did do a pretty good job on the phone at that. He sure went for it.
Mr. Todd will go for it, too. Right about now, Mr. Todd's saying, all right, we always have and always will top Conway and Staub. We were going to offer you the presidency anyway.
All right. Go to Conway and Staub.
I'll give you one last chance to match their offer, and this is final.
I'm just as stubborn as you are, Vern Albright. The answer is no.
Okay, Toddy.
Toddy?
Yes, Toddy. I've wanted to call you that for a long time. Toddy.
Gentlemen, please, please.
You shut up. He just called me Toddy.
Please, Mr. Albright, the other guest. Don't call him Toddy anymore.
Will you keep out of this?
But Toddy, I mean Mr. Todd.
Will you mind your own business?
Remember one thing, Mr. Todd. Lady Ashcroft happens to be very fond of one Vernon Albright. Her son and I were in the service together and all that sort of rot, you know.
Well, you could. Why, that's hijacking.
No. It's Lady Ashcroft jacking.
One more insolent remark, and you'll feel the fury of my temper.
Take it easy, Toddy, or I'll have you bronzed and made into a doorstop. It's wonderful what a little self-confidence will do for a man. I should have broken away from you a long time ago. As president of Conway and Staub, there's one thing for sure. I'll let them know from the start who's top man in their outfit. Toddy. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
May I ask your name?
Betty Neal.
Good. I'll just call you Betty.
Thanks.
Do you like the facilities around here?
Facilities?
Yes, the surroundings. Have you any complaints? Unless you're comfortable and contented, you can't do a good job. Can't say I like the lighting around here. That's one of the first things I'll change. Is Staub in?
You wish to see Mr. Staub?
Just plain Staub to me, Betty, my girl.
Who shall I say is calling?
Good morning, Staub. Top run. Now, let's get a few things straight right from the word go. When I run things, and I don't want any ands, ifs, or buts. You see that wall?
No.
If I say tear out that wall's going to be torn out.
Tear out the wall?
I just want to make the point, if I want something done around here, it's going to be done. If I say buy consolidated trouser lint, nobody's going to tell me there's no such thing as consolidated trouser lint. We buy consolidated trouser lint. Understand?
Yes. If you say buy consolidated trouser lint, we buy consolidated trouser lint. Yes.
I don't think I like this chair.
No, I don't blame you. There's not enough spring in it.
Did I say there wasn't enough spring in it? I say there's too much spring in it.
That's what I say. There's too much spring in it.
Good. Then I think we're going to get along all right. As long as we have an understanding where no one under any circumstances or conditions questions my authority, then I accept the post.
Splendid. Very, very fine.
I'm the president.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Eisenhower.
Very good, Star. If you think that's funny, you should have seen the expression on Todd's face when I walked out.
Todd?
Yeah, he was with me when you phoned.
You mean Todd of Honeywell and Todd?
Well, that's pretty close. You know, I think I'm going to like it around here. Though I can't say too much for the view.
May I ask a question?
Shoot.
You seem to be taking charge of things here. May I ask, who are you?
Now, are we going to stand around here and ask ridiculous questions, or are we going to get to work?
Well, I just thought perhaps we'd want to put your name on the door, and if you don't tell me what your name is,
For crying out loud, what do you think my name is? I'm Whistler's mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you without you.
Now, stop. Cut the comedy. Get that door lettered, and I don't like abbreviations, and make it Vernon Albright, not Vern, understand?
Vern Albright.
I said Vernon.
You're Vern Albright?
Now, listen, Staub, is this the way you and Conway waste time? Well, no wonder we beat the britches off of you. I'm Vern Albright. You called me and asked me to accept your presidency. I'm here, I accept, and we've come to an understanding.
Good Pete, I think you're on the level.
What do you mean, on the level?
What a rib!
funny.
I didn't call you. Somebody's been pulling your leg.
You didn't call me?
And you walked out on Honeywell and Todd?
And I walked out on Honeywell and Todd. I'm unemployed.
Should be home pretty soon.
That's just like Dad to finish out the day in the usual way. He didn't even call.
Well, I don't blame him. If I'd just been made president of Honeywell and Todd, I'd want to break the news in person, too.
Let's go out and take the credit together.
Swell. Whatever it is, I don't want any credit for it.
Dad, what's the matter?
I stopped by the Army recruiting station. They said I was too old. They wouldn't take me. And it would have meant 3 square meals a day.
Something terrible's happened. I feel it.
Well, if only I hadn't told the old guy I'd make him into a doorstop. I could have gone and asked my old job back. I wouldn't really have made him into a doorstop.
Dad, you didn't quit your job.
Quit. I disintegrated it. Let's go into the den.
That's the living room.
Who moved it?
Oh, Dad.
Who could have done such a trick? Who could have done it?
Dad, I was only trying to help. Honest, I was only trying to help.
You did it?
I thought Mr. Todd would make you president.
I told you this would happen someday, Margie. I begged you not to do these things. You'll never be able to undo this one. For when Mr. Todd pounded his spaghetti, I knew he meant it. I'm through.
I was only trying to help.
I'm unemployed.
Look, Margie, just one last word of advice. Don't do it. You've done enough already. That's all I have to say.
I know what I'm doing. I'm getting my father's job back for him.
Yes? Whom did you say? Oh, my goodness, she's early. Yes, put her on right away. Hello, Lady Ashcroft.
Righto, Mr. Todd. Nice to hear your voice. But might I speak with Mr. Albright, please?
Oh, Mr. Albright isn't here, Lady Ashcroft. No, I mean to say he isn't here at the moment.
My fault, really. I arrived a week early. Mr. Albright isn't one to disappoint me. But do have him there at 2. I wouldn't think of anyone else handling my affairs. 2 o'clock. Cheerio, Mr. Todd.
Okay, Miss Superbrain, but just tell me, what happens when the real Lady Ashcroft arrives next week?
I'll confess everything. But by then, Dad and Mr. Todd will be back together. I'm just pinch hitting for a break in one of their egos. They're both so stubborn. Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Todd. Oh, I hate to disturb him. He and Mr. Staub spent hours last night going over Dad's new contract. Oh, no, he hasn't signed yet, but I think the contract's all ready for it. Well, I'll have Dad call you just as soon as he wakes up. Well, if it's that important, I'll wake him now, and he can call you in a few minutes. Bye. There, what did I tell you? Dad's as good as rehired already.
Yeah, if you can make them believe you're Lady Ashcroft.
Well, it shouldn't be too difficult. In fact, it could be quite simple. Right.
Hurry up or I'll disregard your apology and sign up with Conway and Staub.
Very good. Very good. Thanks for calling. Bye. You were saying, Albright?
I was saying that I'm back. But on the one condition that as of right now, I'm the president.
That was Frank Staub. Just told me a very funny story.
May I have my old job back?
Apologize.
I apologize.
And don't you dare ever call me Toddy again.
Yes, sir. Hello? Oh, Lady Ashcroft? Well, send her right in. Oh, she's calling from London. Hello? Oh, is that you, Lady Ashcroft? Oh, we're not to expect you until week after next. Oh, why, certainly. Yes, we understand. We'll be expecting you. Goodbye.
Won't be here till week after next. Why, she's coming in at 2 this afternoon.
Oh, no. Oh, I think I know the answer.
You do?
Yes, the one who's responsible for this whole thing. My daughter.
What? Margie? Again? All right, something's got to be done about that girl. Something's got to be done.
Well, this time something's going to be done.
What are you looking for now?
A theatrical agency.
You say you have the contracts all ready for me to sign?
Yes, indeed, Lady Ashcroft. All ready for your signature.
For your inspection, Lady Ashcroft.
Righto, all in order, I'm sure. Unfortunately, I do not feel up to signing anything today. I merely wanted to renew my old friendship with Mr. Albright.
Of course, you're naturally very, very tired after your long trip. We'll complete the transaction tomorrow.
I'd say, fellows, here she is. Take her gently but firmly.
What's the meaning of all of this?
Oh, a tragic case, gentlemen. We've been on her ladyship's trail for days. She had a rough time of it a few months ago, and her mind, her mind. A few days ago, she escaped from the Medbury Asylum in Yorkshire.
Let me go! Get these things off me! I assure you, this is all a beastly mistake.
Well, now, your ladyship, we have a nice big plane waiting, and we'll have you back home in England in a matter of hours.
England? You're taking me to...
We can't have a lot of screaming.
The most unusual case. Take the first time she escaped. Why, she imagined she was a dancer. We discovered her in Piccadilly Circus, cavorting about trying to do a ballet. She was disguised, of course, but we recognized her immediately. Her ladyship was absolutely no sense of rhythm whatsoever. I think she's trying to show us something. Ease up a bit, boys. Quite graceful. Could be mistaken.
Isn't there some way we can make sure, Doctor?
There's one way to be absolutely positive. Lady Ashcroft is deathly afraid of the dark. Come on, let's see what happens. If she is Lady Ashcroft, she'll burst out of there in a panic in a matter of seconds.
What are you doing in here?
Your father found out about everything and made me stay in here. Now I'm supposed to tell you that he hopes you've learned a lesson.
Margie Albright. Girl sap.
What's the idea?
If you think I'm going out there and give my father the satisfaction of seeing the look on my face, when I see the look on his face, you don't know Margie Albright. Sit down. We may be here for years.